everybody out there in our awesome Stark and HomeSmart social media series. You guys could probably see me. Type in the chat that you can see us. We got Julie, Deanna, and me. I'm on my phone because for some reason my computer audio says it ain't going to work today. So if you can see us, raise your hand, say hi, chat, something like that. Yay, I see you guys. Wow. All right, let's see what we got here. I have to lean so far over this thing. Questions, chat. So nobody wants to type in chat. Oh boy. All right. So type in chat if you can see the screen, you guys. Please. Oh, okay. Whoa. All right. Everybody's.
Wait, what happened? Uh-oh.
That's fine. Let's keep going.
No, I went too fast. It's like I've got this thing now that says click OK because you will leave the webinar. I don't want to leave the webinar.
Yeah, don't do that. All right, we got enough people on. It's 1:01. Let's rock this. All right, let's redo this. Hello, everybody across the country. Thank you so much for joining the Stark and HomeSmart social media series. We are definitely today talking about Instagram and how to be successful, not only as real estate agents, but looking at our attendees. We have all kinds of industries on the phone. And banks, asset managers, we have, who else do we have? Goodness gracious, we got everybody, friends, relatives. Well, thanks for joining us. So let's tell you a little bit about ourselves. Oh, hi. My name is Mike Bjorkman, broker owner of HomeSmart NCG in Santa Clarita, Northridge, and Westlake, California. If you guys don't know where that's at, it's a little bit north and a little bit west of Los Angeles is the areas that we cover. We hire and train and nurture agents to be bigger and better than real life. Deanna, you'll see in the middle. She is our unbelievable social media manager. Deanna and I go way back, and with all the different companies and ventures that we have, there's no way in the world that I could manage social media by myself. So we've brought Deanna in, and she handles everything. And the question is asked every week. Mike, you have a social media presence. What do you do, and what does Deanna do? Well, if it's my name on Facebook, I do it. If it's anything else, Deanna does it. It doesn't matter what company it is. She does all that stuff. And then the wonderful Julie Odell. If you guys don't know Julie, she is our career services manager at HomeSmart. Basically, it's her job to recruit very good talent, agents that want to better themselves and save a lot of money by working at HomeSmart. And she does a ton of our social media. She's a Instagram pro, and she should definitely be on these all the time because she loves social media, maybe more than I do. But one of our keys to success without kidding is Julie. Because of Julie, we've been able to hire almost 200 agents in the last year or so. So she's on fire. So since we do this for free, you're always going to get a HomeSmart commercial. And Julie, take it away real quick.
Hi guys, yeah, welcome. We're doing right now a ton of hiring. There's so many agents that just want to get into 100% commission. We've got a couple different plans that we've just launched this year. So thank you to HomeSmart for all of those amazing tools, because now I have agents that can sign on at $3,600 for the year and be done, call it a day, and they still get every single possible tool that they could ever need to market themselves perfectly with a website, drip campaigns, CRM, CMAs, everything you could possibly need. And then once you get the properties, perfect way to market them perfectly. So they get YouTube videos, they get single property websites, you get a ton of flyers, smart search, so you're at the top of Google search all the time, and obviously tools like this with training. We're meeting every week for smart sessions. We do webinars with Deanna. It's just intense, it's insane, and we're taking agents to the next level.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for our HomeSmart commercial. You guys can reach out to Julie and discuss that more a little bit later. A couple of our most important Facebook groups, you might have even found out about this webinar in these groups. The first one there is the Stark and HomeSmart 10-week social media series on Facebook. If you haven't joined that, it's an absolute must. Deanna puts all kinds of little wonderful golden nuggets in there to enhance your career social media-wise and building lists and everything you could dream of. And then down below, HomeSmart Next Level Training Series. The three of us post, along with some other collaborators, a lot of really good things for training, and just so you can keep up with technology, social media, and all things real estate in there. You don't have to be a HomeSmart agent to be part of that. That's open to everybody. You'll see there's probably 1,200, 1,300 agents in there, all learning together and collaborating together. So we love these groups. So those are the two groups that are most important today. Obviously, there's a bunch of other ones. And then the podcast that we always recommend you join is the Real Estate Marketing Show. That's my podcast, realestatemarketingshow.com. You could search both of these on iTunes and Google Play or whatever the heck the googly people use. So mine is about real estate agents, how to increase your income, live a better life, and basically what to do with real estate. And Deanna, Social Life Podcast, obviously is how to explode your business and be literate on social media, on the internet, and everything that has anything to do with that. So I would highly suggest following both podcasts. As they grow, you'll learn a lot. And of course, it's free, which is amazing. Everything we do training-wise at HomeSmart, you'll find out is free, and that's why we're turning normal agents into huge producers. Okay, so Deanna, let's get going a little bit here. Now, I love Instagram. I don't, how do I say this? I don't use it entirely for real estate. My plan is to create a following of friends, family, sphere of influence, and mix in real estate, and I think it's working pretty good. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm about 2,200 followers. I'm definitely not a Kardashian, but I'm definitely an agent that gets noticed in our area. You know, every day a couple more follow, and I try to keep it mixed up. And I like it, but, you know, I do get criticism from you guys in the social media world about how I should use it. So I'm excited today to listen to our Instagram webinar. And is there any other housekeeping? Did I forget anything?
I think that's it. Julie, did you forget anything?
All right. Let's have the attendees participate as much as possible. Type in the questions. I'll try to answer them. If you see me leaning over like this, that's what I'm doing, is answering questions and working with some controls here. And since the camera's a little bit farther away from me. So Deanna, the lovely Deanna, starts social media. Take it away.
So Instagram's audience grew in size to 400 million active users in 2016. And basically what that means is that's a lot of people that you can be directing your business towards. If you're a real estate agent, if you're a small business owner, if you're a nonprofit organization, Instagram is a great way to connect with people who are unaware. And a couple of the things to note is that Instagram, because of its purchase, Facebook purchasing Instagram a while ago, we're starting to see more and more things in the news feed that are very similar to the way Facebook operates. So you want to take into consideration that if you're seeing things in your Instagram feed that of people or businesses that you didn't like previously, it's because they're starting to use a very similar algorithm to deliver your content to those users so that your audience will grow, and hopefully that you'll use it more and more on a regular basis. So I want to go through some of the questions that came through after we announced we were doing Instagram. And I love it when audiences send me questions and they have ideas of things that they're just completely baffled by. So let's talk about it. Do you need a business profile? That's a great question to ask, and that's something that came across last time, and I spent some good time on Messenger on Instagram with somebody who said, I'm on Instagram now and I'm trying to figure it out. So do I need a business profile? There's a couple ways that you can do this, but the easiest way is, obviously, let's take a look at this first screen grab that we have here of Stark Social's Instagram. So when you switch to a business profile, you get a couple different things. First off, you get actual metrics on how your posts are performing. So how many people are engaging with it, how many people have seen it. It's the same kind of metrics that we're used to seeing on Facebook business page. So those insights that we see, engagement and impressions is the basic nuts and bolts of what you're going to get. But you're also going to get to see, and I'll show you some screen grabs of that in a couple slides, you're also going to get to see what the peak times of your audience is. And that can be difficult to gauge, especially with the real estate world. We might be active in our business life at certain times of the day looking for certain things, but that doesn't mean that your prime or your peak audience is active. So to get your business profile if you want to, and we actually did this in a live class a few weeks ago, but I had a bunch of people who wanted to know because we didn't have a chance to get to everybody. So you're going to click on that little wheel. And I already have a business account. I'm not sure, Mike, have you switched your personal account to a business account yet?
No, I haven't, and that's one of the things I was going to talk to you about today.
Yeah, so you click on the, or you tap on the wheel in the top right corner of your main profile, and that's going to open up your options screen. Your options screen is where you're going to be able to get to everything. I've already switched the Stark Social over to a business account. What's great is they give you the opportunity or the option to switch back. So if you decide you're not going to do this anymore as a business and you just want to go completely personal, you can switch back to your personal account, and it's no problem at all. The other thing that people were asking about, if you scroll down a little bit further, if you have your phones with you right now, you can take a look while you're sitting here, and it's really easy to do. You can set up your linked accounts, so you can link your Facebook, you can link your Twitter, you can link your Tumblr, whatever you've got going on. One of the tips that I recommend for people who are having storage issues, if you're doing a lot of posting of pictures of, let's say, the interiors of homes, or you're doing a lot of video previews and you're adding them to your Instagram account, if you leave that Save Original Photos on, it's going to save duplicate copies to your camera roll, whether you have an iPhone or an Android or something else. And that can end up taking up a lot of storage space, and I made those mistakes quite easily. And the last thing here is adding accounts. So adding an extra account. So let's say you've decided that you have a personal account and a business account. That's what I have. I have a business account for everything that is Stark Social, and then I have a personal account just for my family fun stuff. So I don't inundate everybody with pictures of my 10-year-old snowboarding or us out wine tasting or whatever we're doing. But you can add up to 5 accounts. You can be logged into 5 accounts at a time. And this is great if you have a team. So let's say there's 3 or 4 of you in the real estate team. You can have a team account where everybody shares their new listings, where everybody uploads and updates or does live videos and stories. Strictly just for your real estate team. So this is really great. The other thing is if, let's say, you're a small business owner, or you've got a boutique or a restaurant, you can have, maybe you've got a few different managers or people who are in charge of your social media during business hours. You can have this, so then that way they're not sharing their personal stuff and business stuff, and it's keeping everything in one spot so you can monitor it and keep an eye on it. So these are the best ways to update and change things, so you can make sure that you're either business or personal. So do you need a business profile? I definitely like it for myself. If you're a team, or you're growing a team, or you're looking to grow a team, or you have one or more person who's managing your Instagram profile for your business, I definitely recommend taking a look at it just for the insights. You can see how well your posts are performing or they're not performing.
All right, it's time for me to bug in, and I have a couple questions and maybe a small discussion real quick. So this question's for Julie. Julie handles the HomeSmart NCG account Instagram primarily. Is that correct, Julie?
Yes. Well, Deanna, with a lot of help from Deanna.
Okay, so that's my question. Both of you guys are using that, and do you both log in, you switch accounts on your phone?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So as a real estate agent with a team, I would say I would like to have and I see most of my teams on here, and I'd like to say, hey, let's all collaborate on this and, upcoming listings and stuff. So, but before I do that, the very first thing I worry about is, wait a minute, now we have 8 people on an account. What are some of the recommendations you might have for real estate agents, Deanna, of maybe social media do not do's when we're all sharing a business account like that? Is there anything that stands out in your mind that you've done your social media head shakes with?
Oh, absolutely. So when you're sharing, absolutely. Oh my gosh, where's my list?
Those are my favorite.
When you're sharing to a business profile that you're sharing with other people, so like Julie and I go back and forth, she'll share a lot of the things that are like live and action or happening at the different events, because she can be at all of them and I can't be at every single one. And so she's like the live in action as things are happening person, and then I share a lot of the, here's the new listings, here's what's happening, we've got a new agent. So those types of things, we split the responsibility. So what I would recommend if you have a team, I would say this person is in charge of new listings, and here's the format that we want to use. This person is going to be at every event because they're, my right-hand man or woman, so you're going to help with the live in action shots. And here's the format we're going to use and the hashtags and how we're going to word the text. And then you can just sort of split responsibilities, and then you can carefully monitor, okay, the new listings don't look very good, or, the hashtags are not being used, so I'm going to talk to that person who's in charge of that. So when you're splitting responsibilities, that way you know who's doing what and who needs to be talked to. And that, I think, is easier than, okay, so who posted this picture? It's really bad. The house is cut off, or why did you share the bathroom? Nobody cares about the toilet. Those types of splitting responsibilities or duties amongst the team. And then people get to use or do what they are passionate about or what they feel comfortable with. Because a lot of people aren't comfortable with Instagram and sharing to a business profile because they don't want to be responsible for messing it up or doing it wrong. So maybe just assigning tasks to each person, and then they can do it well and own it and make sure that, everybody's accountable for putting the things out there that they do.
Okay, so the questions that we have right now is, I'll make it layman's terms. So my Instagram says Mike Bjorkman. When I switch it to an Instagram account, should I change it to Team Bjorkman, Team Bjorkman Real Estate, something like that? Because there's 3 questions in front of us saying, well, it's my personal name. Does it look weird if others on my team are posting on my name?
Not at all. So, like, for example, Mike, you have a Team Bjorkman one. So you have your...
We do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Posted all your new listings to it this week. Thanks for paying attention. So, for example, I have someone who I consult with that is an individual. They're the face of the team. So, for example, like Mike, you're the face of the team. If it was going to be Mike Bjorkman, real estate agent, Team Bjorkman, whatever it is that you're doing, if you are the face of the team, like you are with Team Bjorkman, Santa Clarita, you want to make sure that if you have somebody else who's posting on behalf of you, that they're following along with your brand. So you want to make sure that maybe you sit down and have a training and talk to them. It's not weird to have somebody else post on your behalf. I do it for a lot of people. So I think what you want to make sure that you're doing, though, is you sit down and have a talk about your brand, your colors, your fonts, your hashtags, whatever it is that you want to make sure are included. But I don't think it's weird. Like if, Mike, if you didn't have Team Bjorkman SCV and you were just Mike Bjorkman, real estate agent, I don't think it would be weird to say have an assistant or somebody who's on your team post stuff for you as long as they understand the brand and they know what they're doing.
That's money. Okay. Good answer. Thank you for answering that.
Of course.
Yes, that answered the question. Let me see what else that says. Rock and roll. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt for that long, but I think that was good info.
No, great questions. It's so much better when I get the questions because I know exactly what.
Do you guys hear me okay if I just talk into the speaker, or do I need to hold it to my head?
No, we're good that way too.
Okay, cool.
Hold it. Just talk. I can hear you. So you want to focus on growing your network organically. So I know there are a lot of services out there where you can buy likes. Please stay away from Fiverr to buy Instagram follows. All it does is dilute your Instagram doesn't like it, and they can tell because those profiles have maybe 1 or 2 photos, and they have maybe 3 followers, and they're following like 1,000 people. So there's a lot of things you can do to grow your network organically, and especially since now that Facebook has integrated a lot of the things that they do to allow you to invite users. So again, we're going back to that. You'll notice here on the left side of your screen, we've got the main Stark Social profile. We only follow 88 people. We follow 88 users, and then I add and take away and I clean up. And then on the last slide, I'm going to tell you what the tools are that I'm currently using on a regular basis on Instagram that make Instagram so much easier. So again, we go back into our options area. You don't want to follow everybody under the sun. With this Facebook invite thing, this Facebook friends thing, you can, once you've connected your Facebook to your Instagram, you can invite your Facebook friends to follow your page. So you're already taking advantage of that sphere of influence that you already have. Ask your sphere to follow you. Let them know that you're on Instagram. Go into your contacts. People you are past clients, current clients, people that you've been trying to woo into being a client, anybody that's in your email list. Tell them, follow them, ask them to follow you on Instagram. There's a lot of ways that you can grow your audience organically without having to buy likes. And we're going to talk about ads in a little bit too, so I'm going to show you how to create an advertisement with a couple screens in a little bit. So, but also you want to send emails with social invites. There's a lot of people who are taking advantage of the CRM technology that HomeSmart offers, or some other CRM tool or technology that's available online. There's a ton. I know Mike has some recommendations for a couple that he uses. But if you're already sending emails out to your contacts or your drip marketing, you might as well include the fact that you're on social media. 75% of users are looking for real estate agents online. So tell them you're online. Tell them that you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram. You're going to promote the heck out of their listing with pictures on Instagram to over 400 million users across the world. That sounds great and exciting, and people love that kind of information. Don't forget to share on other networks that you're on Instagram. You can create cool little images on Canva that say "Follow me on Instagram," and then you can put your handle. So I've done that before. I'll put, follow us on Instagram @StarkSocial, and we'll usually get a handful of follows from that every time I do that. I'll put that on Facebook. I'll put it on Twitter, and then I boost it or promote it, and the next thing you know, you've got some followers. Also, put your social icons on your landing pages or your websites. Make sure that people know where you are. So if you have a landing page, let's say you put something together, you want to make sure that you're highlighting that you are on Instagram. And of course, for the questions that I keep getting is what social channels should I be on? For real estate agents, for sure, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You don't want to worry about overwhelming yourself, but you want to make sure that you're in the places where people are likely to be able to find you and where it's easy to promote your business and your listings. So again, take advantage of those Facebook friends, so invite them, and then go ahead and follow people through your contacts. And then once you've gone ahead and followed people, you want to make sure that obviously you're engaging with the audience. So even if somebody hasn't posted for a couple days, a week, a month, comment on one of their pictures. Say, that's a great picture. Hey, I just joined Instagram. Maybe you can follow me back. Those types of things are great and easy. When you're growing your network organically, you also want to think about searching for things that are happening in your city. So in the search, you can go and search. We would search Santa Clarita or Los Angeles and see if there's any interesting followers. Make a list. One of the things I do all the time is I'll Google Instagram's top 10, and it'll show you who the top people are on Instagram to follow and engage with. So that's something to keep in mind as you're growing your network organically. But don't forget to take advantage of the connections now with Facebook. It's super, super important. And I definitely recommend it because every time I invite a few people, I end up getting every single one has followed the page. Mm-hmm. Any questions?
Our biggest questions are Facebook Live, and Instagram Live. I just want to tell everybody that we obviously have screens coming up about that and to hang on.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Hold on. It's coming.
That's the big thing.
I know. Everybody's excited about it. So let's just we'll talk about engaging new users with native ads. So a lot of people have been on the Facebook trainings that I've done where we've connected the Instagram profile to make sure that we have everything connected. But if you are not really big with Facebook marketing and you're sort of just like, well, I kind of like Instagram, I love sharing pictures, this is much more user-friendly for me. Once you've switched your personal profile over to a business account, you can actually promote anything that you post. on Instagram and turn it into an advertisement. So it's really just as simple as clicking on that blue button, clicking visit your website. You can have them call or visit your business depending on what it is you're doing. Maybe you're offering a promotion of some sort, and then you just want them to visit your business. So it'll give them directions or a map. Or if you're pushing some sort of promotion and you have a link to a landing page, you can put that in there as well. And then to promote it, you just fill out the details just like you would a regular Facebook ad. And actually, what I think is,
can anybody on your team promote an ad without
yes.
your permission as the leader? So any one of the people on my team say, hey, I really like this post that I just did, I'm going to promote it. They have access to your account to go crazy with.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So this is great because what it does is it also carries over your audiences. So if you have audiences that are set up specifically for your Facebook business page, you will see them in your Instagram. So all of the different audiences that you've created are here, or you can create your own, and then you pick your budget. And then it's much quicker than getting your Facebook ad approved. It actually just takes a very short period of time.
That was a perfect segue. So let me read that question that's dangling there. So when I boost my Facebook, or when I boost my Instagram, does it go backwards to my Facebook?
No, it does not. And that was actually a question I got in the email. So it does not go the opposite direction. So if you boost a post on Facebook or you do an advertisement, you can have it just so that it automatically goes to Instagram, but you can also click to deselect it so it doesn't. But it doesn't go the reverse way. So if you promote something on Instagram, it doesn't automatically end up on Facebook.
All right, so then this is a personal question. So let's say I did boost my Instagram account from an ad on Facebook. How do I know how that's being separated? 1,000 Instagram impressions or 2,000 Facebook, or do we know their algorithm?
Yeah, absolutely. So now when you look at an ad that has delivered to Facebook and Instagram, you have two separate sources of insights. So you'll look at one, it'll say Facebook delivered and Instagram delivered. And I'll take a screenshot of an ad that I've done, and I'll share that in the group. So if you haven't joined the HomeSmart and Stark social 10-week group, I'll show you guys what that looks like. I know I'm like renaming it as I go.
Stark and HomeSmart 10-week social media series.
What that guy said. So yeah, I'll show a screenshot of what it looks like, but the insights is actually separated now. So it was really odd up until I think a couple of weeks ago, where you just sort of were like, well, that's great, it got delivered to both places, but how do I know, what I spent my money on? Was it a bigger spend on Instagram because it did better, or did it perform better on Facebook? I have no idea. So
that's another question that I have, since I have Julie and you both having free reign with our Instagram account. You both can post on there or promote if you wanted to. Is there I don't know, what is the parameters with that? Can you boost it and see the insights without going on Facebook, since you promoted it through Instagram?
Yeah,
you have
and
to go to
that's
the
actually
Instagram website, or is there a place on the app?
What is the one I had a screen? No, you can actually look at that from so when you go on, I thought it was going to show me here. So let me see if I have a screen of that on here. I'm just looking at I thought I had a screen of something like that to share. So when you're looking at a post that you've promoted, you can actually look at the insights on Instagram. You don't have to go to Facebook or leave the app. So when you're actually here, right here, this first screen, right here, this first image on the left side with the big red arrow where the blue promote button is. So if you look opposite to the blue promote button, it says view insights. So when you're done with your promotion, you can view the insights of the promotion right there. So it'll show you it'll show you all the different, like a pie chart. It'll say, here's your audience. It's split male versus female. This is how it performed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it'll actually show you all of the details. I thought I had one in here.
Were you just trying to show us your screen on that?
No, it's right there.
Hey, where? On the slide?
On the slide. So.
Oh, okay. I thought you pulled a screenshot from something else. Never mind. Don't mind me. Sorry.
You're just here because you're pretty.
It's my third webinar today.
Mike's tired of talking to people. So yeah, on this slide right here, there's the blue promote button on the first little phone, and then across from it it says View Insights, and it will open up all of the really cool stuff. So I thought I had included a screen. I guess I had taken it down because I wanted to add stories and stuff. So, but this will pop up and you'll see how your audience, how Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, how it's performed, and then male versus female, impressions, visits to your website, click-throughs, whatever it was. It'll give you all the details. But you can view insights even on a regular post if you haven't promoted it. So, like, I've been super excited about figuring out hashtags because I've been playing with hashtags for probably the last year, and I'm really excited to have success with them in the last, I feel like it's been like recently, but I feel like I finally hammered out hashtags really well. So you can see this first post that we have here, it's got 121 likes on it, and that's all, I think, due to hashtags. It wasn't promoted. I didn't spend any money on it, but I'll show you how we do the hashtags now, and it's very cool. I like it a lot. So share posts with your network. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're sharing your posts. Take advantage of the Facebook share that's available so you can share all of your posts directly to your Facebook business page. If you've decided to do it and keep business and do personal and personal without business, you can share it directly to your personal page. You can share things to Messenger, so if you have a client who might be interested in a specific home, you can say, hey, I just saw this. I know you were looking. This would be something really great. I'd love to set up a showing for you. You can tweet it out to your Twitter. You can copy it and share it in other ways. So if you want to send it out in an email to your whatever you've got in your CRM, or you're using some sort of automated mail service. And then you can also turn on post notifications for other people's posts. So if you see a post that you're really interested in seeing how it performs or what kinds of followers it's getting, you can actually turn on notifications for another profile's post to see what happens with it. And I'll do that sometimes with competitors just to see if an image works really well for them, and then I might copy it down the road in a different way. So that's really good to know.
In a different way. So with what we have going on, so there's Mike Bjorkman, and there's Team Bjorkman. Mike Bjorkman obviously has a lot more followers than Team Bjorkman. Should we convert Mike Bjorkman to a business page and use that primarily and add you to that as a account sharer or whatever you call it? Or try to grow the other one organically too and use them both? Is it a matter of how dorky I am with my Instagram and you're like, dude, I would never want to do, yeah, okay. Be honest, it's just people with a crap load of questions.
Dog.
I love my dog.
I was just going to say, if Lucky starts selling houses, then we should definitely consider. No, I'm just kidding. I've done this before where I've given the recommendation to just start a business account because there's a lot of stuff that I think people share. Like, I share a lot of things on my personal Instagram account that I would never share to the Stark Social page. Like,
the
snowboarding monkey, or I just hit 5 breweries in like 2 hours. I'm super excited. Those types.
You did what?
Julie heard me.
Yeah, I did.
So like I'm drunk in 2 hours because I just hit 5 breweries and I'm really excited. Those types of things you wouldn't want to, like, I tend to not censor myself on my personal Instagram, so I wouldn't want the two to mix. But I might put like a cool, like, we're at such and such a brewery here in Southern California before I've gotten drunk on Stark Social, so that way it's like, look at me, I'm all over the place, it's nice. So with that being said, I think you should really take a look at what you're sharing on your personal Instagram account and how comfortable you are with it just being your only business account. So that I think is, if you really want to grow the other one organically, if you want to have a business account, you should encourage your friends to say, hey, I know you guys enjoy all my posts about my dogs and my kids and all of our margarita-filled adventures, but for business stuff, you should definitely follow Team Bjorkman and make sure you're sharing all of those posts, and here's where to find me. So I would definitely try that before, and see how comfortable you are with making the switch. So,
right. So then you can switch accounts right on your phone, though, from your business to personal. Okay. So we answered like 16 questions in 1 second. Good job.
Thank you. I try and add it all. So make sure that you're sharing posts, even if it's not your own post. This is great for, I've actually taught agents to use this to find houses for buyers. So if you're looking for a property for a buyer and you're having a really hard time in all your networking groups or Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups or whatever you're doing, this is actually, you can search on Instagram and search different neighborhoods and see if there's anything coming up. So this is great because a lot of agents will tend to just immediately snap and share listings or do something like that, and you might be the first one to see it. So definitely keep an eye on things. If there's agents that you really want to keep an eye on, this is a great way to make sure that you're seeing what the competitors are doing also.
So how do you share Instagram posts?
I totally just talked about that.
So if you see, here, let me look. I think I know what he's saying. So if I'm scrolling down and I just see a normal picture,
right?
And what do you have? Top right. Share to Messenger.
So this is okay. So let's see. All right. So let me go to my next slide.
Okay,
so
yeah, because it doesn't say normal share. It's either the Facebook Messenger tweet, copy to share URL. How do you share it? How do you share somebody else's picture?
So like if you want to repost something.
Do you have to use the reposting app?
Yes.
Like Regram and all that stuff.
Yeah, so I use Repost now. I stopped using Regram because they got trouble with their terms of service. So I use an app called Repost, and so what you're going to do when you're doing that is the actual app will give you all the steps and instructions on how to do it, but looking back here, so when you're clicking to try and share something, this little thing right down here looks like a scroll where the arrow is pointing. When you click on that, that opens up the share options. I'm sorry, that's the save options. When you want to, let me go back. I meant to be here. So on your screen, so let's say you have your Instagram open right now and you want to share something. So I'm
going to put this on the camera and see if we can see it. So mine is, I guess you can't see it. Mine is called Repostly that I use.
I use, let's see. So I use an app called Repost. Can people see that?
No, we can't see it. So Repostly, Repost, and what's the other one we have? I use InstaSave a lot too, and then you could repost it from there. Probably not the best tool to talk about on a webinar, but yeah, why not, right? If you want to repost something, basically steal something, just give them credit for it, because that app doesn't automatically give them credit.
Right. So I use an app called Repost. I like it. It's free. You don't have to switch logins between Instagram accounts. And the reason I use it is for that main thing. If I'm going in between Instagram accounts, I don't have to log out of one and then log back into the app, and that's why I got rid of Regramly or whatever it was that I was using before. Mm-hmm. This one makes it super easy. So when you open up, if you download Repost, and that's just all it's called is Repost, what it'll do is it's got this Instagram icon up in the top right corner, and when you click on the Instagram icon, it takes you to Instagram. So what you're going to do is in the three dots in the top right corner, let's say I've got this Instagram picture here of a new listing for Team Bjorkman I want to share. Those three dots you'll see in the top right-hand corner of that image. You tap on those, and that opens up your share options. Your share options are Facebook, Messenger, Tweet. To reshare something on repost, you're going to hit copy shared URL and then go back. And then once you've opened repost back up, ask me later, it'll say new, and then it'll show what I've just copied, the URL that I've just copied. I'm going to tap on. What?
What a pain in the butt.
Yeah. It's actually, it's not as bad as it used to be. But once you're done, it shows you in a video instructions on what to do, and I love repost. I use it all the time. We're constantly sharing. So if agents for HomeSmart are sharing videos or listings or open house stuff, if you look at the HomeSmart NCG Instagram, I repost everything that I can find that agents are sharing. And that's great if you have a team of agents that are below you that are sharing open houses, new listings, cool little videos. I share all kinds of stuff. And that just builds up their business, which then thereby builds up your business. So when you're doing sharing, most of the time, what happens is you're going to need to use this copy share URL to take that into the other app. Instagram had announced last year that it was going to allow you to natively reshare, but they never did it. So there's no native reshare option right now that I know of.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you for saying that. So a native reshare. So that was the list of questions. How do we share? And I was trying to get to the reposting and the Repostly app. So thank you. Look at Jennifer's going viral today on our webinar.
I know. She's like, I just really like that picture. It's a good picture. She's got such a good smile. So this was also so one of the other things that Instagram has introduced that a lot of people have no idea what this little flag thing is on the bottom right corner. You can save pictures or images. What brands are using this for is they're taking advantage of this by developing a weekly strategy of content that people will want to share and directing them to share. So you can actually direct your users to say, save this for later, save this, like for example, I saw somebody doing this really well, and I forget who it was, and it was a HomeSmart agent, and I feel really bad that I don't remember the name, but it was save this for later so you can visit me at my open house on Saturday. And that was a great way to do it.
Great idea.
Putting the address in there and saying, save this for later so you can come visit me on Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. at this house. Here's the address. Here's all the details. And in my bio is the link to view the video virtual tour. I was like, wow, I haven't even done an Instagram training yet. They already know. It's like they're in my mind. You want to be maybe creating short, engaging videos with tips or tricks. One of the things that I always tell agents that people are constantly engaged with is the home staging is a huge thing. People need to know that they need to clean out their property before it gets listed. Maybe you want to do a quick walkthrough of a property, preview it and say, this is not yet on the market. It's going to be in the MLS on such and such a date, but if you want to see it beforehand, get in touch, message me now on Instagram, and I will get you in this weekend. Make sure you save this video so you can come back to it for the address. That's a really great way to engage people and to make sure that they're saving your content. When people engage with your content on Instagram, that means that you're going to be put into the actual news feed, which is really, really important. The other thing that's performing really well is infographics. There's a bunch of different tools that have, like Canva, PicMonkey, where you can build these cute little Instagram-sized infographics that offer information like, houses in your neighborhood sold for, 60% more than they did last year. I mean, whatever it is, the number is obviously be accurate. But you can say, homes in this zip code sold for this much, homes in your zip code sold for this much, whatever kind of information you want to provide. And then you want to make sure, obviously, always save the data on the users who save your stuff for your funnel development. You want to make sure that maybe if somebody saves a video or a picture or a post that you've done, that you maybe give yourself a nudge or a reminder to message them and say, I noticed you saved my video. I just wanted to reach out and see if there's something I can help you with. Do you have any real estate needs at this time? So you want to make sure that if people are liking and sharing your content, that you're thoughtfully keeping an eye on who those users are. And don't forget to use Instagram Messenger to reach out to them. I mean, obviously, we don't have the same ability to grab their emails as we do on Facebook, but you can always use Instagram Messenger to build your funnel and get their email address by reaching out to them and asking them for more information. What everybody
was so fun. I'm sitting here poking around through different buttons I've never seen before.
And I think
can be scary.
I might have lost.
Oh, that's the HomeSmart one. We've worked very hard on that.
I know. Julie and I have done such a good job, and we don't even really talk about Instagram. It. We're just in each other's minds. We just know.
That last picture you had, that was almost 100 likes. That's good.
Well, Deanna, I've got a question, though. You know how we were talking about sharing to your Instagram and then you can go to Facebook? Do you see anything later down the line that you'll be able to change it up a little bit? Like, I follow so many of the same people on Facebook and Instagram, so then I end up seeing your same stuff twice.
Yeah, so I think what I've done is I've got certain things set up so that everything just automatically posts to Facebook, and you can do that. But what I would love to be able to do is to be able to navigate and say certain posts I want posted at this time, and I want certain things posted at that time. But I think that what Facebook is trying to do is they're really wading through all of the complaints, because I mean obviously we all have great feedback. So I think eventually they're going to make it so there's better suggestions, or there's better ideas for people to follow different stuff, and it's timed a little bit differently, so the business pages aren't so cluttered with the stuff I just saw on Instagram.
Cool. That'll make me happy.
I know, make me happy too, because I'm like, I just saw that. I just liked it on Instagram. Do I have to like it on Facebook too?
Exactly.
And then I'm like, okay, I have to like it here too. So yeah, all right, here you go. Or I'm on Instagram so much that I start doing the double tap on Facebook, and I'm like, why isn't it working?
That is such a problem. Just so you know, I actually hung up. I had to call back in if you guys asked me a question. That's why I ignored you. I got all excited pushing buttons. But that is such a problem. Like, when I am Instagram stalking, I am double tapping on pictures that are like 6 months old from people I don't want to know I'm stalking them. There has to be a special app. Whoever invents that's a millionaire. Because I have like, oh my God, I can't believe I just double tapped on that. There's no way to take it back. I'm like, oh, it's so bad. And I do it every day.
Social media head shake.
That's a perfect one. So now I know when Mike likes my stuff and he hasn't liked it for a while. He's just stalking
you.
So bad. You just like tie your hands behind your back and like use your nose or something.
That's awful.
But then if you fall down and you like double tap a bunch of stuff with your nose, that's scary. And you don't know
so
what to.
Everybody's asking questions about live, so let's dive into this because
let's talk about live. And then after this, we'll talk about hashtags. So live stories, it's got to be my most favorite thing. I've done a few, and I really like it. We started recording our podcast again. Our new episode came out today. Very excited. But when we were doing Instagram Live while we were doing it, and we had a bunch of people who engaged with it, so it was really neat. I liked it, and I got distracted and stopped talking for a little while. But live videos can be used at open houses, openings, and big events sporadically. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be doing live video all the time, but it's a great way to draw and engage an audience. So what's great about this is every time that you start a live video, anybody who follows you gets notified. And half the time I get so distracted, I end up watching everybody's videos. So it's great You want to
Can
think
you
thoughtfully.
say that again, Dan? If I watch somebody's live video, they get notified?
Yeah, it shows up and it'll show you in the little thing, little window, that they're watching your video. Um, so it's the same as like if you do a Facebook live video and it shows you like how many people are watching. It's the same type of thing. So when you've done a live video, when you're done, it will show you who's watched it. And if you can't see that yet, it's because it just hasn't, the update hasn't rolled out to you yet. So don't worry if you can't see the list yet when you're done doing a live video, because they're rolling everything out very slowly. And everybody's getting certain things at different times, I've noticed. Because I was actually sitting, like this was weeks ago when they were rolling out live video, and the person next that I was meeting with was like, oh, I did a live video today. And I was like, I don't have it. Why don't I have it? I do so much stuff. That doesn't mean I had Instagram envy. So things roll out sort of just at odd times for people. So if you don't have that ability yet, don't worry. You'll probably get it in the next few days. But when you're done, especially if you are a business profile, when you're done with it, you'll get to click on it and see. For example, like when you post a video to Instagram, it shows you video views. And when you click on video views, you're able to see who it was that viewed your video. That's another thing that I definitely recommend. Pay attention to who is watching your videos, and thoughtfully message those people and say, thanks for taking the time to watch my video. Please let me know if you have any real estate needs in the future. I would love to stay in contact with you. Maybe you don't mind sending me your email. So that's another way to build your sales funnel and potentially get leads. You can email that person in a few weeks with some thoughtful information about the area or homes that you've just recently sold, or cool and engaging things that are happening wherever you happen to be living. So you've got the one screen on the one side that shows how to start your story. If you're going to start a story, you just tap on that area right there. Once you have tapped on the little plus sign, the circle, you get it opens up to this screen. So you can actually either turn it around, or you can have it facing whatever it is you're looking at. Boomerang is so much fun.
It's so fun.
It's on my list of apps.
Wait, I'm gonna boomerang that. Hang on.
You know what? Live is the best because obviously I have 2,600 people I follow, because back in the day I thought it'd be cool to follow everybody because they'd follow me. And basically what I did is I royally screwed up my Instagram, like my Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Now I use live like Facebook birthdays. When they do a live and it's lame and I don't care about the person and boom, unfollow. So I love live for that reason, because I'm unfollowing like 10 people a day going, I never want to see that person live again. Never want to see that person live again. Who is that person? So it works out really good. So I recommend that. I mean, I really do. Because sometimes you can't really tell from the picture. Maybe they do a couple pitches and it's kind of, but when they're lame. You're just like, oh, unfollow.
Well, and then it's funny because I have gone and unfollowed. I think you have to constantly be trimming. As a trainer I sat with, like on a regular basis, he says you have to trim the fat, get rid of whoever is not being productive in your feed. If they're not posting or they're not adding value, don't follow them. You don't have to follow everybody. I have made sure that with the Stark Social one, that whoever I'm following, it's relevant at the time, because I want to reshare their stuff. Or I want to follow their stuff. I want to see what it is that they're posting, because it might be valuable to me in the future. I like using live for. We did it we did it with the podcast. We had people asking questions while we were talking during the podcast, so that was fun. I went to an event a couple weeks ago, a training where I was sitting live with people, and we literally all sat and Instagram lived the whole entire thing, and we were having fun with it, just like turning it on each other and like, hi, wave to my friends. You can just be absolutely silly with it. You can do live. You can do just regular pictures. You can do boomerang, which.
Can you go over a minute on the Instagram Live?
Yeah, you can go a while, I think. I
didn't know you could go over a minute.
I think so.
I've always done quick little things.
Let's see.
Are you Googling?
No, I'm not Googling.
Julie, just go live with it with your iPad and go for it.
All right.
So the other way to get a heartbreak on this is I'm talking about deleting people. Once in a while I use the Instagram app to see who's deleted me, and I'm like, oh man, they unfollowed me because I was trying to use it as an app to clean up mine, and it didn't work really. All it did was piss me off. I'm like, why did you unfollow me? That's not very good. Or why did you? Stupid app.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
They don't like my dog picture.
They're like, there's just too much Lucky in my world right now.
Well, we have Maverick too now.
Maverick has taken over.
I like him. So I'm just trying to see. I don't see like a cap on the time. But anyway, I went for a really long time when we were doing the podcast, and I don't even know how long I went, but I went for a really long time. And I did a bunch of them. I think you can go live for an extended period of time. I don't see anything that says it's got to be less than a minute, because I know that when we were doing the podcast recording, it was like 5 or 6 minutes, and I was still talking. But so you can do Boomerang, which is really fun for those of you that don't know Boomerang. It's on my list of apps that you need to have if you're doing fun stuff with Instagram for either your business or your personal. Julie does a lot of really cute Boomerang, so if you haven't yet followed her, you should follow her. You can also add stickers and text to images with the different menus that they have now available. So if you want to try that out, I definitely recommend trying it out, but you don't, while you're playing with it, doing the pictures, you don't have to publish it to Instagram. So if you're like, this is crazy, I don't like it, you can just start over. So there's a lot of different things you can do to grow your community using Instagram Live. I think what I like about it is it just seems really fun and organic, and people have asked me Instagram stories or Snapchat. I'll pick Instagram stories every day, just because Snapchat makes me want to blah. So, so this is definitely live stories. What I've heard from the different trainings that I've taken, and I actually sat through one last week of somebody who's been using it religiously to build their business. You definitely want to be thoughtful about when you're doing your stories. If you're doing them live, you want to make sure that you're doing it to promote something that's cool. If you're just getting to an open house, if you're previewing a property, if you're a business owner who's running a big event or something cool, you definitely want to make sure that you're taking advantage of using Instagram Live at that point in time. You cannot yet save the Instagram Live video once it's done. I've heard that they're rolling that out slowly, so that is really cool because I would love to be able to use that in another way. For example, in an email. You take that video and you say, hey, did you miss me on Instagram Stories Live? I was sharing information about this house. It's amazing, and you definitely want to click to see a sneak peek, but if you want to see it for real inside, email me or give me a call. So those are some ways that you could potentially use video in the future for things like that. You could actually, I've had some people who have faked live videos and then shared them in emails, and that's been kind of adorable. So play around with it, try it out, test it out, make sure that you have, lighting that makes you feel happy about yourself, and that you're wearing cute clothes, and you have your makeup done if you need to.
Or some clothes.
Or some clothes on. Yeah, that's the best. Make sure you have clothes on, just period. So hashtag your post thoughtfully. So this is something that I've struggled with, I think, on and off as Facebook took over Instagram. They changed the algorithm for hashtags. So it became a part of the search algorithm, which meant that there were a lot of opportunities to be able to jump into people's native Instagram feeds. And then when they announced that they were going to start using hashtags, geolocation, and all this other stuff as a part of Instagram feed, I think a lot of people started to go like, whoa, this is overwhelming. So I started to play around with all the different tips and tricks and ideas that are actually on the Instagram business blog. So if you have not yet added that to your reading routine on Feedly or whatever it is you're using to source all of your content information, just Google Instagram business blog and add that, because they release all kinds of cool information. But so this is just an example. Always use the first comment for your hashtags. So in these two screens, what you'll see is the first text at the top is the description. So that's the description that I put in when I posted the picture. I've got 2 hashtags in this one, and then on this Stark Social one, I have no hashtags in the description of the picture. I always use the first comment for my hashtag-apalooza, as I like to call it. You want to create a branded hashtag that you consistently use for yourself. So we've got, for the HomeSmart, we always use HomeSmart, HomeSmart NCG, because HomeSmart NCG is a part of the HomeSmart family. So we want to make sure that anybody who's searching for HomeSmart, that our images are going to show up regardless of their location. We want to make sure that if people are searching for HomeSmart NCG, that we show up also, because we want to make sure that everything that we're posting is getting to people who are potentially interested in the brokerage. And then we go on with the Stark Social stuff. These are my winning hashtags that have been working really well for me, for our brand, for our agency. When it comes to real estate, one of the things I want to make sure that everybody's aware of is that along with that, you want to make sure not just that you're using a branded hashtag, but 10 or more hashtags right now, with the way that Facebook has redesigned the algorithm, is gold. I know that it used to be like 4 to 5, and that was like pushing it. 10 or more hashtags in the first comment seems to get the job done, as long as they're thoughtfully put out. You want to geotag your hashtag. So what does that mean? So if you look on the HomeSmart hashtag here, what I've got is I've got SCV, so that stands for Santa Clarita Valley, Santa Clarita, and then if you go down, I've got all the different areas that we cover. So SFV, San Fernando Valley, Ventura, Conejo Valley, Moorpark, Thousand Oaks, Burbank, Northridge, Camarillo. So if you have a specific area, a city, a county, a valley, whatever it is, find out by searching through Instagram search what the hashtags are, and make sure that you're taking advantage of location hashtags. Those are king right now, because people have turned on all of the geolocation stuff with Instagram, and unless you go and look for it, it's hard to turn it off. But people will be searching for new stuff in their area. This is going to make you show up in the native feed of Instagram. If you get enough engagement on your posts that you're putting up, this also means that you might be delivered as a suggested follower to people in your area who are looking for real estate agents. I've actually had 2 people in the last 4 months find Stark Social on Instagram and ask for help. So that's really cool. The more that you're doing, the better presence you have on social media, the better it looks for your clients. What I like to do is I like to use tools like Evernote, Trello, or whatever else you've got that you're using for tracking your ideas, your to-dos, your tasks, whatever it is you've got going on. But I will keep all my social media notes, my plan for every week, in Evernote, and I will, on, let's say, Thursday, I'll sit down and jot down all of the ideas for the following week of things I want to post. And then Friday, I create the content for it, and I make sure if I'm doing it in Photoshop that I have everything set up. If I'm doing it in Canva because I need to be quick and on the fly and get things done, then I'm doing it there, and I've got everything ready to go. But you want to make sure that you're thinking thoughtfully about what you're doing. So before I even put these hashtags in there, I never type them out. I have them in Evernote saved. So I'll just go to Evernote and copy and paste them into here so that I don't have to sit here and type them all out all over again. So I actually have, for HomeSmart NCG, I have 4 different sets of hashtags I use. And that might seem excessive, but depending on the post, depends on what kind of hashtags you want to use. So if it's a new listing, I'm going to do different hashtags. If it's welcoming an agent, I'm going to do different hashtags. So those are the types of things you want to definitely make sure you're being thoughtful of. And I know we're running out of time. So make sure that you're And if you haven't yet downloaded the handout, all this information is in the handout. And then the last thing that I want to talk about today is my top apps that I use all the time. So these are my current favorites. 2 of them are actually websites. So Social Rank is a website that helps you rank your followers. It shows you how active they are, how engaged they are. So this is one of my favorites right now. I've been using it to find new followers, to unfollow people. Repost is the app that I love for reposting pictures on Instagram. Cleaner, if you have gone through and followed 3,000 people and you've only got 200 people following you, that reads very poorly to Instagram. So they've actually adopted Facebook's algorithm for that. So if you're following more people than actually follow you, you want to clean that up. You want to get that down to a lower number and start working on organically or natively increasing your audience. So I use this to clean up my followers to make sure that anybody who is following or anybody who I'm following is not a ghost follower. So there's people who I ghost that are ghost profiles. It's kind of the same as having like a fake profile. They basically create it, and then they could be a bot. They could be just somebody who's created a profile and is hanging out but hasn't posted anything since like July 2014. PicStitch, I use that for putting together collages. Quik is one of my favorite video apps. The people who started GoPro created this app. So it's a great video app. I love it because it's clean and it's easy to use and just super cool. Canva now has a iPhone and an Android app that you can use. They have a bunch of cool templates and things, so if you're like, I'm totally busted, I have no idea what to start posting on Instagram, I'm not really sure, check out Canva, download it. It's all pre-sized and predefined and everything looks really cool. Flipagram is a great way to put together a collage of images, like a video of images, sort of like a flip book. And then Boomerang, which Julie owns Boomerang. She should do a Boomerang training. And then SnapWidget is another favorite of mine. That's actually a website that you can use to create a widget of your Instagram feed to put on your landing page or website. So that's another thing that you definitely want to make sure that you're doing.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's become like a super duper favorite. I think it's free to use. I've never paid for it unless I'm supposed to and somebody else is paying for it. But so SnapWidget, if you have a landing page and you have a really cool Instagram feed, it's definitely good to just stick it on your landing page or your website somewhere and make sure that people have access to it. If there's any other questions, cheers, we're done.
Let me see. I had to reduce my little control bar here. Oh gosh, yeah, there's questions.
I'm having fun seeing all the people following, and
I can answer some of those later. We're 10 minutes past our time. I don't think there's any. So for those of you listening that have questions, I think there's only one that I would answer privately, or two here, and then the rest go back and listen to the recording of this, and they'll answer your questions. If you came on late, I apologize. Some of that might be too long to go over. But okay, well, Deanna, that was probably the most fun training we've done ever on Instagram. Instagram usually bores the crap out of me, but today, there's so many new things. I'm going to geek out tonight and go look at switching back and forth between business. All you guys that attended, I really appreciate it. Please share when you get these emails of registrations with real estate agents that you think are cool and help us promote these training series, because all it does is help the good of our industry. And as I always say every week, it is so important for Deanna, you guys, to be thanked publicly. Don't send her an email. Blast it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, something publicly that you appreciate these classes, and make a big deal out of it, because obviously it takes a lot of time to put that presentation together. If you're interested in having her manage your social media, obviously there's the contact, reach out. At Stark Social is probably the easiest way to find her. And Julie's contact information right there. Julie at homesmartncg.com. If you've liked this training, we will blow your mind with what you get at HomeSmart, the support, the tools, the technology, and most important, the compensation program is the industry's finest. If you need me for whatever reason, at Mike Bjorkman, I'm always around. You can Google me. My cell phone number is everywhere, and I'm always there to answer your questions and help build your teams and your career. And Deanna, do we have next time's content set up yet?
Yes, next time we're going to be talking about enhancing and utilizing video for Facebook.
Ooh, very cool. All right, I love it.
Good one.
Okay, you guys, thank her publicly. Julie, thank you for spending so much time with us. Thank you, everybody. Bye, bye,
Deanna, you killed it.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.